Thank you for clicking this video. On this episode, we want to talk about how to move a motion for substituted service. Now, in the video that I did on service of court processes, I talked about substituted service, extensively, how and why you might need it and how to go about it. So you need to ask the court, because the proper way for service is personal service. That's the service that the court recognizes. Now, the court now has a provision that if you cannot serve someone personally in a matter, then you can serve them by substituted means, that is, by means other than personal service. If you cannot give them the process themselves for them to collect it, say you are a claimant now, you have sued someone for defamation. If you cannot find or provide the person's address, or maybe you provided the address and the bailiff has been serving and trying to serve, and they cannot give the person the process personally, then you can come to court and ask for a permission from court to allow you serve by substituted means, and that is what we call an application for leave to serve a process on the defendant by substituted means. So per usual, I'm going to be reading it. I've told you that you do not have to cram a motion. You can literally read it out to the court, but you will not read everything. So what differentiates know-how from not knowing at all is what you read and what you do not read, because at the end of the day, you cannot read everything to the court. You cannot read the written address, you cannot read the affidavit in support, but you can read some portions of the motion, which constitutes moving the motion. Now, there's something called moving in terms, which I've talked about on the channel as well. It just means that you will not have to move extensively. So if the court allows you to move in terms, you move in terms, but if not, you have to move fully. Maybe I should do a separate video moving in terms so that it can be clear. So how do we move a motion or an application asking the court for an order granting us leave to serve by substituted means? Of course, as usual, the court will ask you must have filed this motion. This motion is filed ex parte. Ex parte because you don't even know or have not been able to serve the other party. So they are not even in court yet. So you cannot you cannot apply or file any motion on notice in that matter yet. So it's brought ex parte. Ex parte means you don't have to serve the other party. So, and then the court will ask you if you're ready. You tell the court you're ready, and then you move. Say, my lord, we have a motion before this honorable court this morning. Our motion is dated 5th of March 2023 and filed on the same date. Please don't copy out these things that I'm reading, because I'm just giving examples, okay? But I'm just trying to show you the procedural aspects, not essentially what you have on the face of your motion paper all the times. So please. Another reason why you cannot memorize your motion is that for motions that are pursuant to several orders or rules of court, are you going to memorize everything? If you can, fine, but if you cannot, this video is especially for young lawyers, people just starting out, or people who are already in practice but who are just moving this kind of motion for the first time. Our motion is brought pursuant to section 66B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and order 7 rule 2 subsection 1, order 11 rule 5 subsection 1D, and order 2 and order 46 rule 1 of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory Civil Procedure Rules 2004, and under the inherent jurisdiction of this honorable court. My lord, our motion is praying this honorable court for an order granting the applicant leave to serve the writ of summons and other processes in this suit on the defendant by means of substituted service, to wit, by pasting same on the doorpost or at a conspicuous place or wall of the defendant's premises at Suite 7, Zone 5, Wuse 2, Abuja, within the jurisdiction of the court. 2. An order of this honorable court to serve the writ of summons and other processes in this suit on the defendant by means of substituted service, to wit, by pasting same on the doorpost or at a conspicuous place or wall of the defendant's premises. This at Suite 7, Zone 5, Wuse 2, Abuja, within the jurisdiction of the court, and for such further order or other orders that this honorable court may deem fit to make in the circumstances. Supporting our motion is a 15-paragraph affidavit deposed by one Kelechi Nani, and a written address. We urge your Lordship to grant our prayers as contained on the face of the motion paper. We're most grateful, my Lord. So that is it. You've moved to your application for leave to serve by substituted means. So that is how to move that particular kind of motion. I will see you in my very next video. Don't forget to subscribe. To do's.